Hello there, my name is Ros McMahon.
And I'm Patrick Stead. Have you ever considered that there might be other substances in your food that aren't listed on the ingredients label?
We invite you to spend a few minutes with us to investigate this further.
The majority of your packaged food in the supermarket are riddled with harmful poisons generally used in the processing stages of food production and are not required to be listed on the packaging.
This is super convenient for multinational companies whose sole intention is to rob you of your hard-earned income. It's simply naive to believe that they're putting your health above everything else.
Noam Chomsky quoted that the general population doesn't know what's happening and it doesn't even know that it doesn't know.
So we suggest that if you can't produce it, make it, or create it in your backyard, then it's not real food. Disease and illness from overconsumption of processed food is far more of a concern nowadays than starvation.
Essential phytonutrients are being removed from our food during the processing stages, and harmful pesticides and chemicals are being added back. With enough denaturing through heat exposure to toxic substances, literally anything can become the lethal recipe.
We'll take a look at 5 prevalent ingredients which are common in most foods. These are refined sugars, oils, grains, salts, and chemicals. Firstly, let's consider the conversion of coca leaf to cocaine. Coca leaf was used traditionally for tooth pain and consumed by chewing the leaf or drinking in a tea. In its natural state, coca leaf is not addictive nor harmful to the body. After some processing, however, the result is cocaine, and we liken this to sugar.
We've all heard about how bad sugar really is, but do you know why?
No,
Well,
I don't.
refined sugar undergoes a scary processing path after taking the whole sugarcane juice, boiling it, crystallizing it, and taking the molasses out. What's left is sucrose and contains no nutritive value whatsoever, and all that's left is just with trace chemicals. The sugar itself from the sugar beet is actually really delicious. And I remember in my younger baking years hearing about the amount of sugar that they put in McDonald's bread buns, along with the meat and the pickles and everything like that. Um, it tends to bring people back for more. The sugar addiction takes the form of the body craving more of this, and once eaten, these giant companies play on this and market their products to your children right under their nose.
And refined oils are just as bad. Natural oils tend to be prone to spoiling easily, so manufacturers use extreme measures to lengthen the oil's shelf life and hence their profit. The seeds or the nuts are heated at high temperatures and hexane or heptane used as an extraction medium. Add some phosphoric acid, some caustic soda, a touch of bleaching, and a deodorizing step. You're left with an oil which lasts a little bit longer. Then they add some synthetic antioxidants anyway, for good measure, and a defoamer. So cold pressed oils are a much safer option because they're not exposed to the nasties and they still contain the macro and micronutrients required to nourish and protect our bodies.
Moving on to grains, these are suited to large mammals rather than humans because they have the teeth and the capabilities to digest them properly. Grains today are manipulated to better suit growing conditions and are bombarded with fertilizers and pesticides, and some are genetically modified. They are also stored for extreme lengths of time, which leave them nutrient devoid and quite often rancid. Today's processing methods remove the bran and the germ. They're ground up at high speeds with gassing and bleaching steps. It becomes a white flour, and the result of that, well, have you ever mixed white flour and water together? It becomes glue. Can you imagine what that actually does to your insides?
So next on the list are chemicals. There are literally tens of thousands of chemicals in our food today, and these all mix and interact together inside of us. It's not possible that scientific study can make comment on our safety in this regard. So, in this occurrence, please don't wait for scientific evidence on this to convince you either way. Chemicals actually permeate every cell in your entire body and they last for years and years and they're not easily eliminated. So take a second to imagine how much build up in your body from eating even a small amount of processed food the chemicals are stored. Take a second to imagine the continuous build-up in your body from eating a small amount of processed food each day of your life.
Lastly, we have salt. Natural salt contains many wonderful minerals, but the refined salts today contain sugar, anti-caking agents, and they're also heated to extreme temperatures as well, which bind to them and by doing so destroying any goodness that's actually there. 70% of our salt consumption comes from processed foods and are referred to as the hidden salts. These are specifically designed to have little flavour to mask the flavour of the salt. So please check your food labels, investigate the term salt and choose your salt from your kitchen that is rich in minerals such as Hanhafter's sea salt.
So keep an open mind about the trade-off of convenient food versus your health. Not only does the processing discussed today poison you, but it also inhibits the body's ability to be able to absorb natural nutrients. Whole foods will leave you feeling satiated, while processed foods offer no nutrient value, and hence we eat more to compensate. We don't need a PhD to figure out that disease and illness stems from here. We thank you for your interest and we invite you to visit www.returntofood.com. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.